This is a condo, and this is $10,000. And if you stick with me for the course of the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how I turn that $10,000 into $500,000. But first, we need some context. Okay, so if you're anything like me, you've seen countless of these turn X amount of dollars into X amount of dollars. Turn $5,000 into $1 million. Turn $1,000 into $20,000. And you've thought to yourself one of two things. Number one, this is total and utter BS. And number two, you know what? There might be some validity in this. And the more and more I researched this, I did figure out that, you know what? I could absolutely do this because A, these people can't be that much smarter than me. Well, they absolutely could be smarter than me. And B, you're never gonna know until you try. Go big or go home. So after a little bit of back and forth, I've decided the plan was put in action that I was going to buy my first vacation condo with a little bit of money that I had saved up. Now, in order for you to understand how I took $10,000 and turned it into $500,000, there's a few parts that you must understand. Each part unlocks a new clue to understand that making $500,000 on a $10,000 investment is not just about being lucky, it's about having a plan and executing on that plan. So I had exactly $10,000 and straight away I knew that that obviously wasn't enough money to buy a condo. So I had to understand the power and leverage of OPM, or other people's money. This was the biggest key to make this happen. So here's the thing, I live in a place called Jensen Beach, Florida, which is on the treasure coast of Florida on the East Coast. And it's one of those places, and you'll find out if you move here, everybody and their mother literally wants to come out here because let's face it, we live where you guys vacation. So I knew I wanted to buy this condo, and I want to buy this condo for two reasons. Number one was so I can have my friends and my family come out here to visit, in particular, my mom. More about that in just a second. And number two, I wanted a place that I could rent out during our season here. Well, what's the season? Season here is when our friends from up north, from New York and New Jersey, Canada, Pennsylvania, they want to come down here and get out of the cold. So they come down here typically from October through April so they can come out here and enjoy the perfect weather that we have. Now, when you own a vacation condo, these snowbirds that we call them come down here and they spend quite a bit of money per month to get out of the cold and rain that they face up north. Now, I also knew that my mom would want to come down here and spend some time with us and the kids because when I moved to Florida, one of my sons was 7 months old and the other was 7 years old. So my mom wanted to come down here and spend a considerable amount of time with myself, my wife, and the two kids. So the conversation was put in place that I would borrow some money from my mom so I could go ahead and buy a vacation condo for A, so she could come down here and stay, and then B, so I could rent it out during the season that we just spoke about. So she was going to lend me some money because qualifying for a vacation home is quite a bit different than qualifying for a primary house because you need to have quite a bit more money down. More about that in another video. So now that I had the financial portion of it taken care of, the next step was research. I had to research and find out exactly which condo that I wanted. Here where I live, we have a place called Hutchinson Island, and it is an actual island. It's a barrier island right here on the east coast of Florida. And let me tell you how incredibly gorgeous this is. There are so many pristine beaches and the golf and everything about this area is absolutely perfect. And there are so many people from out of state that love to come here because it literally is paradise. So I knew immediately that I was gonna look for a condo on Hutchinson Island, but where do I start? So that's where I dove into my computer and I started to research different things. Now listen, when you research for condos, there are a lot of different things that you have to pay attention to, and price is only one factor. Another factor is the location. You have to look at the amenities around. Look if it's close to public transportation. Is it close to shopping? Is it close to other amenities in there? Location is key when looking at this condo. You also have to look for building and unit features. And now this obviously has to do with how many bedrooms, how many baths, and square footage, but it also takes into consideration, are there storage facilities on site? Is it run by an HOA management company or is it not run by an HOA management company? Storage facilities are such a big thing because when you do get these snowbirds coming down, they might have surfboards or kayaks, and they will obviously need a place to store those items as well. You also have to look at the amenities and services. Are there pools? Is the pool heated? Is there tennis courts? Are there pickleball courts? What other features do they have? Shuffleboard, resort style pool, lap pools. There's all these different amenities and features. And to be quite honest with you, when looking for a vacation condo, the amenities and the features are probably the first thing that you should look at because most people, when they want to buy a condo, they're looking at those amenities as well. Next is financial considerations, and you truly have to evaluate the overall cost of ownership. ownership. It's not just the purchase price. You have to look at, are there any special assessments coming down? Property taxes, HOA fees, insurance. All of these things will affect your bottom line and can really make a difference between one condo unit in one building and one other unit in another building. Also, inquire about the condo's resale value as well as rental policies in case you are looking at it as an investment property. And speaking of rental terms, one of the most important things is the rental terms. Some units have 1 month rentals, some units only rent by the day, which you can have it like an Airbnb or a VRBO. Some condo communities have a 3-month minimum, others have a 6-month minimum. Some condos have a 3-month minimum, but you can only rent it out twice a year. All of these different rental aspects play a huge factor in deciding which condo unit to purchase. For me personally, I knew that I wanted to have a month-to-month rental. That way I could have it rented January, February, March, and April for our snowbirds up north. And then if my family or my mom wanted to come, let's say in July or August, I knew that it would be available during those course of the month. So the condo that I purchased was in a building right out on Hutchinson Island that had a 1-month minimum rental policy. It was a 2-bed, 2-bath condo with about 1,200 square feet that allowed for monthly rentals, and the HOA fees were relatively inexpensive. So, how much was it? Well, here we go. So the condo was listed for $250,000. However, I used my wonderful negotiation skills.
We are prepared to make you a very generous offer.
And we are prepared to reject that offer.
And in 2017, I bought it for $210,000. Now with vacation properties, you typically need to put a little bit more money down. Normal properties are between 5 and 20%, but with a vacation property, you need to put 25% down. So for a $210,000 property, I needed to put down $52,500. So remember, I only had $10,000 and I knew that I was gonna need to put some money down. So this is where leveraging the power of other people's money truly helped out. So I spoke to my mom and I said, Mom, we need to borrow $42,500 in order to purchase this condo. We got the green light and we purchased the condo. Now I already hear some people out there saying, well, Chris, I don't have a mom that I can borrow $42,000 from, and I understand where you're coming from. However, where there's a will, there's a way, and if you truly want to make this happen, you can definitely make it happen. Maybe you get some buddies together and you pool your money together and you split it 4 ways. Maybe it's another family member, an aunt or an uncle. And there's always, me being in real estate, there are always hard money lenders out there that are willing and able to rent you money. Yes, it's going to be a little bit of a higher price as far as the insurance or the interest rate goes. However, there's always ways to make this happen, because let's face it, to turn $10,000 into $500,000, you're going to figure out a way to make it happen. In June of 2017, I purchased this condo for $210,000. As I sit here right now and shoot this video, the market value for my condo is $760,000. I would list it tomorrow for $760,000. As a matter of fact, I'm on the 3rd floor. Just 2 weeks ago, a unit on the exact same floor sold for $775,000. So if you take the $760,000 market value now and subtract the purchase price of $210,000, you're left with $550,000. Now remember, I borrowed $42,500 from my mom, so let's round up in a little bit of interest. Let's say I paid my mom back $50,000, and now we are left with a condo and equity that is worth $500,000. So as you see, my friends, this is exactly how I turned $10,000 into $500,000. Now, I would love to say that this process is simple and easy and it's just like that, you can make a $500,000, but there is definitely a lot of time, energy, and effort into researching these properties and making sure that you're getting a good deal based upon the criteria that you have set forth in your head. You got to sit down and write down exactly what you're looking for and the exact cost that you need to associate with not just purchasing this condo, but if it's a rental or an investment, you have to look at all the associated costs in addition to the income that it's going to generate. This is never going to be a get-rich-quick thing because it does take time for the appreciation value of these condos to appreciate over time. However, if you have the time and the energy and the effort, it is extremely simple to get this done, and one of the main reasons why I absolutely love real estate, because of the generational wealth that you can accumulate not just for you, but for your family. Thank you so much for watching this video. I cannot wait to see you on the next one. Boom.